Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wild, Creative, and Confident, a video interview series where you can learn from the most inspiring industry leaders on how you can use your passion and creativity to design the life and the business of your dreams. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Thompson from wildandcreative.com, creative success coach. And today I have Anna Frolik with us, and she is the creator of AnnaInWonderland.com. She's an exceptional, passionate, and creative person. She's a life and business coach, and she helps people excel in their passions, creating a business that they love, bringing peace into their lives, and increasing their freedom. How can you get better than that? So welcome, Anna. It's so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me, Sarah. It's really good to be here.
So before we got on the call, we were just talking about how you are a multifaceted person and you're into so many different things and you just love to do so many different things. So can you just kind of touch on that a little bit? You know, where did your creativity come from, and is that the reason that you're just into everything?
Yeah, looking back, I'd say it definitely started in my childhood. I was always a really creative person. I always loved, um, you know, painting and drawing and also writing. I was, writing fairy tales when I was, maybe 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I also remember I used to record things. We had this little old-fashioned recorder with tapes, and my brother and I would just kind of make up interviews and stuff like that, and we're on radio, and so many things.
So in your life and business coaching practice that you have now, what would you say is kind of like your niche market? Because your vibe is very fairy-like and well, Anna in Wonderland, right? So who is your ideal client?
I work with a lot of spiritually minded women, mostly, who are very multi-passionate themselves, who have a lot of interests, but who definitely have a mission to bring healing to this world. And most of them are healers, and also some creative people, and a lot of people who want to do a combination of both. And there's always some kind of spiritual aspect in all the work that I do anyway. But I have been attracting mostly very conscious people too, who have been on a path of spiritual awakening for a while. And sometimes also people who are just beginning to awaken, who are really interested in learning more.
Did you always know that you would eventually get to this point working with these type of women and, just loving your business?
Yeah, it was definitely a process of figuring out, what I'm really interested in, what I'm really passionate about. And I started my first business about 7 years ago. And back then I was working in corporate as a copywriter and content editor. And so I turned that into my own business. But about a year later, I just knew that it was time to change something. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And then I started exploring my spiritual passions, and I started working with the angels and started doing healing work with clients. And so it was quite a journey. Maybe after about 3 years of being self-employed, I started seeing that was something that I probably wanted to do at some point.
Right. So a big part of this series this time around is talking about receiving and being able to receive whatever it is that you're desiring in your life. So how have you been able to allow the universe to help you receive all that you have now?
That was definitely a long journey for me, and I'd say it was a long healing journey, first and foremost. A journey of definitely learning more about myself, but also, it was part of it was actually pretty painful, and I went through a dark night of the soul for about 3 years on my journey.
Mm.
And it was mostly my relationships, things really came to the surface, and a lot of letting go of control, and just surrendering, really to what is, and learning to allow more, and also opening up to that higher power that many people call God, and strengthening my connection to God. I think that's what's really helped me learn to receive. And
What is infinite receiving to you?
to me, that means just being completely open, and I would say, to be even more specific, being completely open to all possibilities, and also trusting that whatever comes your way is for your highest good, and also trusting that this is a good universe, that this is a loving place, and that it's really the only thing you really have to do is to see that you deserve to receive, and there is no limit. Like,
Awesome. That's a good that really wraps it up. That's awesome. Can you tell me what suggestions that you have for the people that are watching that can help them increase their level of receiving for anything that they want to attract?
I would say the number one thing for a lot of people is just really let go of all the struggles, and the need to work hard to create what it is that you desire. I think a lot of us have been trained to work really hard for what we want, or really hard for what we need often, and then we just stay stuck in survival mode without even really knowing. I mean, a lot of people can create a lot of success, like externally, but then not really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've learned on my own journey is that the more you let go of all the things that you don't enjoy, that are not fun, that are not fulfilling, and it's really a process of learning to feel yourself too, and really connect with your own desires, and just be really honest with yourself. If there's something that you're doing in your business or in your life that you're not enjoying, and it just feels like a struggle, it usually means that you're going against your own nature, against your own divine guidance, and then it's really hard to receive because you're creating without God, basically. So you're not you're just trying to do it all on your own. And so,
Why do you think it is that a lot of people feel that they don't deserve to be able to receive?
I think there's two things. It's definitely something that a lot of us have learned, from other people around us, from our parents. It's a belief that's passed on from generation to generation. Another thing is like more of a spiritual reason. It's just part of the human journey, to experience, the illusion of separation from God. And so what happens for most of us in our childhoods when we're really young is, we get hurt for the first time, and then we don't understand why, and all of a sudden, we start misinterpreting things. We think it's, we're suffering or we're hurting because we're being punished, and then we think, we did something wrong, and then that's kind of how this sometimes endless cycle begins.
So tell me, in your journey, what has been your biggest achievement out of all of this? I mean, you said that you've gone through some difficult times and you've come out of it. You've had some wonderful times lately with your business. What has been your biggest achievement so far?
That's a good question. I would say, I'm very internally focused. So I think for myself, my biggest achievement is really the joy that I've found in my life, and all the inner peace that I've found, and also the freedom, not just to, do all the things I love, but to just really enjoy life, and, with ups and downs, because I'm still human.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for me, that's a really big thing. Then also my creative freedom, I'd say. I've worked a lot on liberating my creative self, and I remember I used to have so many ideas all the time, and then I feel totally blocked, and I could just never put anything into action. I could just never get anything done. And the healing work that I've done has definitely helped me with that. And now I can just, pretty much have an idea and just create it, and it's pretty awesome.
And do you think that when you were blocked because you had so many creative ideas, it was because at that time you probably maybe just weren't exactly clear on what it was that you really wanted to do?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Like, clarity is such an important thing. In the creative process, you have to be really focused on one thing. Otherwise, and I think that's a block that a lot of people have, because we're so trained to live in our minds, and then everything gets really complicated. And
Mm-hmm.
so the more we can return to the heart space, then it gets really easy, because we can just flow, and it's everything is one thing. So
I'm pretty sure that most people, a lot of people don't have clarity, right? I mean, even if they think that they're very clear on what it is they want to do, if things aren't working out well in their lives, when you really put your pen to paper and really figure out what things you truly love to do, a lot of people don't have that clarity, right? So it is such a huge, huge tool to help you move forward and happiness as well. So what would you suggest to the entrepreneurs that are watching in regards to helping them find their true calling, helping them really locate their, soul passions, if you would, because I'm sure that's what you do a lot with your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, helping my clients find clarity is definitely one of the most important things, because, as you said, it's kind of what kind of opens the door to everything else. If you don't have clarity, you can keep taking action, and you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So there are, I think, several things. The first thing is, definitely, for a lot of my clients, is to not hesitate too much when you have an idea. It's not about perfection or perfectionism, because it will always be a journey of evolution. So if you feel inspired to try out something new, and just give it a try, just take action. And when you start taking action, then you will automatically get more clarity. And I'd also say a big part of it is just to stop being afraid of failure, and just seeing that making mistakes is part of life, and it doesn't say anything about what you're worth, and really, yeah.
And you want to look back later on and think that you don't want to have any regrets of things that you didn't try, right? I know that, years ago, being such a creative person myself, I would, want to do all these different things. So I started so many different little businesses and wanted to try this, or when it was like, jewelry making, interior design, all of that. And some of them lasted a long time. Some of them didn't last as long. But, to my friends and family, I think I was like, a little like somebody who like did things like willy-nilly, who just was like trying things here and there. But really for me, I just wanted to, look at them make an educated decision that I really enjoyed doing them. Right. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's been my experience as well. I've had several businesses, and some of them worked, some of them didn't. And yeah, it's really just a journey of exploring, and um, and just really figuring out what you enjoy. You can't really find the answers in your head. That's what I always like to say. You just got to start taking action, and then also sometimes you have to have the courage to let something go. That's another thing too.
What would you say to people that think they, really don't have the power to create their own life? Because really out there, I mean, there's so many folks still that don't really think that they have, well, first, I mean, yeah, it's confidence, right? But don't feel that they have the power or ability to create the life that they desire.
Okay, that's a tricky question. I think there are several things, but I know exactly what you mean. One thing that comes to mind is that a lot of these people who feel very powerless in their lives, I mean, it sounds kind of creepy, but have like negative attachments to
Mm.
lower entities. So that's one thing to be aware of, and then, do the clearing work. And often that can just change things, in an instant
Mhm.
once you become aware, and, you're just in your own space. You return to your true self, and it's just you. Um, Another thing also is just exploring creativity on a bit, yeah, on a bit of a different level. Just remembering that, in truth, you're a child. You're here to have fun. And sometimes when people, want to create something big, they put themselves under a lot of pressure. And so what I like to recommend, when there's such huge block because there's so much pressure, is, just go and create something, that's really easy for you to create
Mhm.
outside of your business, paint something, or plant a garden or whatever, but that can, because it really reconnects you with your true self, because you are a creator. So
That's such a good point. I mean, gardening or any
Mhm.
spending time outside, really. I mean, just
Mhm.
gardening gives you that connection, that creativity connection, and also gives you the connection to the nature, right? So, I mean, that's such a good thing. And then you're also, cultivating something and making it grow, right? So, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's such a very simple first step for people to realize that they have the power, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about like what's going on in your business life right now? Like what kind of things have you got going on?
Yeah, since I'm a very multi-passionate person, I always have several things going on. So one part of my business is just selling products that I've created. And so I have my own healing cards and guided meditations that are just basically passive income.
Nice.
Some courses too. I have one course about creating your own oracle cards. That is my most popular course. Then I also do coaching, and I have one program that I have on my website right now, which is Quit Your 9 to 5. So I help my clients figure out what they really want to do in their career, and, well, if they want to start a business, and then help them create it. Another thing that is in the works, that I have done before with clients, but I don't have it on my website yet, is a money magic breakthrough, which is just an intensive, with a 1 hour follow up, where I just work with entrepreneurs mostly who have been in business for a while, but who have just hit either an income block, or they just feel that making money is a really big struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
help them just make money more easily. And um, yeah, so those are the two
Awesome.
coaching offers that I have right now.
So your website is Anna in Wonderland. That's your main website? Everything's on there?
Yeah, pretty much everything. I have a few things that are just on other platforms like iTunes, and
Oh, okay.
but yeah, most things are
But
on my
everybody can
website.
find all of your offerings through your website.
Yeah, or they can contact me through my website. Um,
Perfect. So I want to ask you one more question before we go. What is it that makes you wild, creative, and confident?
okay, so I think my wild side is probably my inner fairy. Just I like to be really playful, and I like to make my own rules and not follow anybody else's rules. Um, what makes me creative, I think, is just that I am a human being. We're all creators. That is our true nature. Um, and maybe, yeah, the more personal aspect of it is just that I really love being creative, and I've done a lot to, yeah, help myself like liberate my creative self. Um, Confidence, that's a bit of a difficult word for me sometimes. I think, yeah, most people have confidence issues, and I still have my own too, because I'm human. Um, But one thing I've learned about confidence is that a lot of it is sometimes there are misconceptions that people have about confidence. And what that means is that we think we have to put up some kind of mask or some kind of, false image that we're projecting out. And so people, respect us more, love us more. And what I have learned is that that's really not necessary. So just allow yourself to be your true self. It's okay to be vulnerable and not be perfect. And that's how I like to see it.
Totally. I mean, that's why people want to work with individuals, right? Because they have a connection to them. I mean, if everyone is just wearing a mask, I mean, there's no true connection really at all, right? So be yourself. That is the goal. So thank you so much for being with us. I really enjoyed our quick chat. And, if everybody watching, if you want to check out Anna's website, it is Anna in Wonderland. And, what first got me really connected to Anna is, she's got a beautiful picture of herself with like flowers in her hair, and she's very fairy-like and very angelic. And you really definitely exude that through your website and through your imagery. So if that's what you're going for, then good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Really nice
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it was really nice to connect with you too, and I really enjoyed this chat with you.
And everybody that's watching, thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget to check out the Wild and Creative website, and the new program, 6 Steps to Creative Success, is on there. And we will see you all again soon. Thanks so much.